Hello and welcome to Hometown Highlights with Shane Cardinal. Today we are back with the other half of the duo Cock Destroyers, Rebecca Moore. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. Just sat comfy at home in the countryside in the UK.
It looks lovely there. You got your Christmas tree, the dog in the
Christmas tree,
background.
cozy dog.
It's like stars.
Fireplace
They're
is not
just
on
like
yet.
us. Yes. I said it's like stars. They're just like us.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am so grateful that I am able to do these interviews. Sophie started the ball rolling a couple weeks ago before the first episode. And then since then, it's just been an overwhelmingly amazing response from everybody. I've got almost the whole cast minus a couple, and now you. And then we got more coming up with a couple of the cast members willing to do a double interview and do like a little reunion type
You've got
thing.
yourself to thank for that, because you are good at what you do. So
thank you. Yeah, we were speaking a little bit before that. Thank you. We were speaking a little before this, and you were talking about how I come off as a people person, and I wanted to say thank you for that, because I think one, that's the mental illness, because I've had a life that makes me have to like think of how I'm saying things and how it's going to come across. So the way that this has all been received is I am beyond grateful. So thank you again for that.
You're welcome. No, you're a very great person. I can
thank
tell.
Thank you. So let's just jump right into it. So you are one part of the duo Cock Destroyers, but other than that, you've been doing sex work and in the adult entertainment industry for a while. Tell me a little bit about your life growing up and your career path and how it led to that, and just get me caught up to where we are today.
So going back, I left school, had children pretty young, then ended up as a single parent, and I was kind of I'd got into studying. I was studying law, and that was extremely difficult. It was difficult managing children and stuff like that. And it just, the adult industry kind of, I'd often been curious about it, and I just thought, this seems like the right place to go. I started off stripping, in great easy cash, and then I did webcamming and stuff like that, and then it just grew from there. Really, I did meets, and then got into the filming industry, and that wasn't until a lot later. So sometimes people start young in the industry. I was young, but when I started in the porn industry, there was people even younger, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I wasn't even thinking about this when I was 18.
Yeah.
I feel like I was a bit of a late starter in something life, but I certainly caught up. I've always been, I think I was born experimental and just like wanted to push boundaries, and wasn't really going to settle for the boring life. I always felt pretty different to my family. I wasn't sure that I was even theirs at times.
I feel that.
And so, I got into the industry when I was, I'd had my kids, I'd been married. So I was about 25. And then I went straight in, as they call MILF. There's two ages in porn. When you're a woman, there's teen and there's MILF. What goes on in between there, we're not sure. But that's how they sum it up. And it started off slow for me. And then I got two like parody films where I played the Margaret Thatcher, which it's Prime Minister. And so I became, and funnily enough, when all this came out, my director was a gay guy, and he phoned me up and went, I always knew you were a gay icon.
Literally.
He started, it was years ago that I would wear these wigs, and I'd be Mary Berry and stuff like that. So I just liked being silly, even in my films. And that's it really. And I just never let go. I mean, some people get into the industry and they get out quickly. I wasn't going anywhere.
And I'm glad you haven't gone anywhere, because without that, I wouldn't be doing this, and the world wouldn't have known the Cock Destroyers. Like,
exactly.
So
and I wouldn't have met Sophie.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about that. I have a little clip of your first well, I don't know if it's your first viral video, but with Sophie, it was the one that blew up and completely blew you guys up. So let's play that.
That was our we didn't even know about viral. A pair of us didn't know what meme was.
Right. I feel like you guys it was just a gangbang you were trying to plan. And it happened to be so funny that like everyone was like, who are these two dirty slags? Like, we love it.
Hi guys.
Oh my God.
Look at these lovely big tits. Do you know what we are? We're fucking cock destroyers, aren't we, babe?
Fucking destroyers.
Yeah, fucking cock
Look at
destroyers.
us little babies.
We love to just get your dick and fucking de-spunk them fucking balls.
Do you know what?
Oh,
Put these
so
fucking
innocent.
balls in our mouths.
Yeah, look
They
at
will
that.
fucking teabag you. Fucking
dirty
spunk
bitches.
everywhere.
All right. So that was a clip from the first viral video that you and Sophie put out. And it wasn't even meant to be viral, Sophie told me. Tell me about how that video came about from your end and how you met Sophie.
So, you know, Sophie and I had just kind of like met, we'd met at a party and then we were like, we're going to work together. And I already knew the gift of doing videos. Like I knew that they were a real seller. And what we would do is you'd go RT, which is retweet. We just wanted retweets. We didn't really know the power of going viral. We certainly didn't think that that was possible. We'd ever do anything like that. And I remember like, Sophie was doing something. I was just like, we had this amazing energy together. Like it was like two kids fucking in a sweet shop.
Yeah.
And I was like, we'd organized these two gangbangs. We had one on the Friday evening, one on the Monday, on the Saturday morning, and we had 6 spaces left. And I was like, let's get rid of these 6 spaces. And I was like, I didn't even tell her I was going to start doing the video. I just went I was just like, yeah, we are. Yeah. And then she comes over. And we
that
just
became
go
your whole
for it.
brand after that.
I was just, I think I'm a natural saleswoman when it comes to selling myself or something. But Sophie has this incredible, and that's why I think the video went viral, is like, I had never met anybody that if I got like worked with another girl, I was always like the vocal one and they were quite quiet and like, oh God, I'm not used to talking like this. You know? But Sophie was just like, had epic timing. Like I'd say something, and Sophie is so funny. Like when I met Sophie, I didn't realize how funny she was. And we did this thing about this little fee. It's just a little fee. And Sophie went, just a little one, you know, like really like sarcastic. And I was watching it back because I couldn't see her. And so I like to be the one that I got all the information. I'm going to give it to you. So like, the person with me, like, you need to just work. And Sophie was just like amazing. So I didn't see what she was doing. And I was watching it back and my friend was like, she is funny. And I was like, oh, no, like this is more funny than sexy, isn't it? You know? So that was it basically. I remember us making this video and I remember feeling like that's pretty, like we've got like, that's quite hardcore for us. Like, pretty hardcore anyway, but like it's aggressive. We knew that video was aggressive selling.
I think that was one of the main things that got everyone hooked on it. It was that they just came out the cut out of completely thin air and were like, we're fucking cock destroyers, despunk those balls, give me your sperm. It was like, oh, yes, please, here you go, have my balls.
And I actually sent it to my boyfriend, and we're not together anymore, but we're still really close. And at the time, and I laugh because I said to him, there was this thing like, am I going to put all the customers off if I is this scary? Are we scary? He went, no, that's just YouTube being you two. And so we posted it and there you go. But it wasn't until like, it wasn't immediate viral. Like it might have even been a month later. And getting these DMs going, you two are absolute gay icons. And like, we were like, what? And then the gay community had started looking at other videos of ours. And, you know, I was recording all the time. And I guess what I was doing is people found it funny because I was so over the top. And that's just a part of that's who I turn into when the camera goes on. That's who, like, I just become that person. It's a persona. It just happens so naturally. And, it's always been a bit like that. And so I think they found everything very entertaining. So yeah, it just went from there.
So was that like, because because I know you said you weren't trying to be funny, but it just happened to be. I always kind of wanted to ask that, and I meant to ask Sophie. Is that something that you get a lot of feedback on? Like, oh, this is like, do you get negativity from like your regular fans and this and that being like, all right, you guys are too much, or is it all like, oh my God, we love this?
So I must admit, I don't get a lot of negativity at all. I've been very, very lucky because I think our gay fans are looking for something different, obviously what our straight fans are looking for. And we have just managed to nail it, that we have the beginning part of our films is comedy that we put on YouTube and stuff like that. And then we have the other half that we can put onto. So we don't have people saying, you're being too silly or anything like that. I think with all my old films as well, people always knew that I was like a bit of a joker, not a bit of a joker, but even with Fake Taxi, that's how like I went viral with that, but in a different way on like Pornhub. I had like millions of views, and people always knew that there was a bit of tongue in cheek with me, like dry humor. So I've been really lucky, really, really lucky. And Sophie as well, like sometimes she'll put something out and I'm like, what the fuck? And all of her fans are loving it, like loving it. She can do no wrong. And so I'm like, what the fuck have you posted?
That brings me into, I have another, just a highlight because it's hometown highlights. I have a couple pictures from a photo set of a video you guys just put out, and I'd like to share that with my viewers if that's okay.
Yes, of course.
As well as talk about my journey into following you guys and getting this interview to happen. So this first one was a video I posted around Halloween last year because I was at a Halloween party and I was in drag, and I didn't really have a full costume idea thought out, but I was like, you know what? I'm blonde. I look hot. I'm with my partner who looks hot. We're cock destroyers. That's what we are. So I
already love the makeup.
Thank you. I got way better after this makeup. So
I love a black eye.
And I will do anything for dick. And I will take.
That was the short one. And then this was the other one where I tried my best, and I apologize for my accent because I've been told many different things about my British accent, but I tried.
Hi, guys and girlies. Do you know what we are? We're fucking cock destroyers. Yeah, fucking give me that spunk. Fucking spunk all over my face, you know? Give me that dick. I'm driving for dick. Cock destroyer.
I love that. So like when I see these videos, it's so clear how we must have come across, like so aggressive. And listening to American people or Australian people do our accent is hysterical because it's like, hi guys.
I always wanted to know, like, I wonder what they think of these people that are redoing their videos, because that's really how it came across. And I tried my best to do your voice.
We love it.
Like, hi guys and girlies.
I love it. See, Sophie has such an iconic introduction now, which is amazing. Yes. Hi guys and girlies and my non-binary friends. Like,
yes.
Like anybody can do that and you go, I know who that is.
Speaking of your crazy videos and being funny and having a whole theme and all of that, it was amazing. When these photos dropped, what better Jessica Rabbit than Sophie fucking Anderson with those tits? Like, oh my God.
So basically, Fetish Daddy, before the show, Fetish Daddy obviously make all of our latex. I'd been talking to Fetish Daddy about doing a collab as Jessica Rabbit. So we were discussing maybe just Jessica. Sophie wasn't anything to do with this at this time, and we were discussing doing like a poison ivy, and so about just like we were talking about doing that. Happened. The show happened. We were doing a lavish, because I love latex. We're doing a lavish latex evening, and I was just like, hold on a sec. They want to do a collab, so why don't they just do it for the show? And this will really like show their work off. So I phoned Fetish Daddy. I said, do you want to do our latex for the show? And they were on it, and I was so happy. I couldn't have asked for better people to do the latex. They were there, like they fit us in it and everything. We've actually become like we have used them a lot. We're doing a lot more stuff. Latex is like massive thing for me. And like, I was like, Sophie, do you want to get on this? Let's really push the brand. Let's go with the latex. So we had the poison ivy thing, and me, like, I'm really like to rinse things. So we'd had the latex done for Slag Wars. Sorry, my dogs are going fucking mental. We are going to make a comedy show out of this, and we're going to make a porno out of this. So that was done. Then I was like, right, let's get Jessica Rabbit done. I am going to, like, what do you call it, where you when like a football team, they get lowered,
demoted.
I'm going to demote myself because you, my darling, are way better Jessica Rabbit than I'm going to be.
You guys are both amazing, but the look of her boobs just sell that whole fucking thing.
It was no question. I was like, we're going to do this Cop Destroyer latex thing. There's no question about it. Sophie is Jessica. And I am confident enough to pull off a rabbit.
I love it. And even there was a clip that was on Twitter that I just saw, and it was you two standing there tied up, and it shows like such a perfect dynamic of you guys' relationship, because it's like the serious and you're tied up, but then she fucked up her words or something and she starts laughing. And I was like, if that's not the Cock Destroyers brand, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it was real fun. Sophie is hysterical. Like, I loved, and without us announcing it, we have our own production. Like, we are producing high quality content, which is
absolutely
I'd say all of our all the people that work for us under this production are queer.
Oh,
we have
okay.
One straight person, and that's Dick Bush, and
we love it.
And sometimes, like, we really do. We just tend to. It's not. We have mainly queer people who work for us, which is absolutely fantastic. So that's my house that we filmed out, and the Porsche is Fetish Daddy's as well.
Okay.
Fetish Daddy. The thing about Fetish Daddy, what I love working with them is their latex is they've never done women before. All their stuff with they do
harnesses and stuff like that.
I'm about to go and get another harness done. It's the best stuff. I'm really into detail, and it's bespoke stuff. So it's not like off the hanger kind of stuff. It's a bit more expensive. That's what we're about. We are the Cock Destroyers, and we want the best.
Yes.
So we had everybody here. Spike is our photographer. He's from Soho. He's a gay photographer, and he mainly shoots guys in leather. And there's on his, I loved being on his profile, like, female, it's me.
It's
and like,
awesome.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm getting a girl on his thing. So they were all here. We had wigs and everything. And I just love, I'm no director or anything like that, but I could direct if I wanted to. I know exactly what I want. Sophie's fantastic at acting. She's really funny. So we just have our team here. We know exactly who, and we just produce this stuff, and we will work from morning until night until we get it out. We actually teased some of it out, but everything came out when the show came out.
Yeah.
So we had all of this content. Sophie and I had not stopped. We worked so hard. So we're so happy with the way they've come out. And, all the strap-ons were created with 3D printers. Fetish Daddy are like, they really get our vision massively.
Well, that brings us perfectly into the next topic of things. You mentioned that your team is a bunch of gay people, and that you mentioned Slag Wars, and a lot of Fetish Daddy gear stuff was made for Slag Wars. So let's just jump right into Slag Wars. So let's talk about, how did Slag Wars, the show, which for anyone watching just this episode of Hometown Highlights that didn't watch any of the other ones, Slag Wars is a show primarily for sex workers, but not just only sex workers. It's just people that are sex positive and LGBT members of the community, and all competing in this show and getting to know each other. And it's more than just a competition. It's more than just a reality show. It's inclusive, and it's exposing a lot of things the
giving
world.
people a platform to give their message across, etc., and their talents and their gift, and it's great, because I guess if people, some of the contestants, they do have OnlyFans, it's definitely given them a boost, which has been great, because there wasn't a prize as such, apart from being known as the Cock Destroyer and being part of the family, you know. But we'd like to change that for season 2. So yeah, there is Slag Wars is a reality TV show for the queer community, and there's a important message. It's just when people watch it that they can see that to be sex positive, you don't get put into a box. To be a sex worker, to be put into a box. Understanding non-binary people, because there's lots of people out there that's still not grasping it, you know, and that they feel that you know, that people should be put in a box, and just to we do have I think Sophie and I do have a message in the fact that we just want people to be a bit more open and a bit kinder, and that we love to have a laugh, and sex is fun, and just educating people at the same time. Like, obviously we discuss about consent and things like that, but also the industry that we're in is a proper business. We have to do our own photo shoots, we have to do our own there's so many elements to it, and so many
actual work.
People to learn from this. Like, people probably be going, right, I'm going to be better at my OnlyFans or something like that. But you know, there's lots of things about it, and I think all ranges of people can enjoy the show.
I love that. So the show has, like, even all ranges can enjoy it. It has a range of different walks of life for contestants. You know, we have Nikki, transgender from the United States, Gustavo from Mexico. You know, we have Kane, who's worked in nightlife, Tyrese, who's non-binary and a person of color that's worked in nightlife, and then, you know, the Cameron and Levi doing their social media and their OnlyFans, and then Kevin, who comes out of nowhere, little well-known, little unknown Kevin, and stole everyone's hearts. You know, it's definitely given that platform, and I think, like, it's amazing. And even me not on the show yet, this has given me a platform in general, because I'm doing the interviews. And so I think that you've touched lives throughout everywhere, like in multiple aspects of life, from positivity to friendship to sexually openness and all of that. And I think, like, kudos to you. That is amazing.
Thank you. I think there's not been a show like this. I think it's well overdue. I think there's been lots of things on sex, and there's been sex in reality TV shows, but let's just get in there.
Right to the chase. I love that.
2 porn stars, 3 porn stars presenting it. And all my friends are all fun and naughty. I mean, Bag of Chips is the biggest slag, isn't she? She's
I love her.
You know, everybody's naughty.
I can't wait for her.
Just loves. When we told them about the show, they're just all perfect, and so everybody does sex, so it's just perfect.
That's awesome. So how did the show come about? Like, whose idea was it? Like, talk about how it came to life.
So how it manifested. So Daddy Couture team, we were all out in we had done the New York fashion show where Sophie was there, and then shortly after that, before the pandemic, obviously, Sophie was aware, but she couldn't make it. I flew out to LA to do a Daddy Couture show. We were also meeting with Wow. We were discussing doing a show and stuff like that. And we were like, we want to do a show. We hadn't gone there about talking about a show, but what we wanted to do was we knew that we're massive fans of Wow, and we wanted to kind of get into bed with them somehow. Anyway, shortly after that, the pandemic happened. We were like, we want to do the show. We sat in a taking it back a little bit. We were in a bar, Matt and 2 others, and Sophie on FaceTime, and we were kind of like slapping ideas around about a show. And we came up with some hysterical stuff. And now that the show's done, we laugh about the conversation in the bar. And you know, we were like, let's do this. The pandemic happened, the lockdown happened, and Artie, who's he's the founder really of Daddy Couture, and we're the owners. And we just would talk every day. I've talked to Artie every day. I met Artie through Chris Crocker. Chris Crocker again is on the show.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And we are best friends and we're business partners. Matt's best friends, business partners. We just all would meet up and we'd add a little bit all the time about what we're going to do. And it just kept growing, and we knew that this was going to happen. And we were like pinning down the date that it was going to do. That was it. Wow. It just didn't work. Wow. Were like, I don't know if they, with what we wanted to do, I don't think we were going to get the money. I love WoW to bits, but men.com showed like,
yes.
Men.com, I think, because they're a porn site, I feel that in a way, if people can go, it's a porn company or something. Like, I think this is incredible what they've done. They have supported bringing such a queer show to like
mainstream almost, yeah,
for free. Like, this is their gift.
Yes.
And I think it's freaking amazing. And I think I'm so grateful to men.com, because men.com have supported 2 female porn stars. Like, their babies, gay porn, right? They have supported myself and Sophie like so much, and I'm so grateful to them, and I love them so much. So that's how it came about. They were amazing. They gave us such creative control, and they're clearly entrepreneurial. They saw that this was going to be
definitely a good business decision for them.
Don't get me wrong, WoW are entrepreneurial, of course. It just didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be, and they've got amazing shows. And so what was meant to be was meant to be. We did the show with men.com, and they have been absolutely amazing and supportive. Then we got a writer called Topher.
We love Topher.
Topher's phenomenal. He is incredible. So I'm always worried when somebody new comes into the group, in the sense that I'm like, do they understand what we're about and stuff like that? I can know straight away when someone doesn't get me and Sophie, and I'm like, this isn't going to work.
This isn't.
Within 5 seconds, Topher's ideas of his writing, I went, oh my God. I went, you've got us, like, you're like most people that work with us have been a fan of the Cock Destroyers at some point. I was like, you know us, and you're going to be amazing. Topher, so it's so funny. So on set, Topher and Artie would like be the ones managing everything and stuff. And Topher is the good cop.
Okay.
He's so polite. Okay, right, Slags. He's so gentle with the way he talks. And Artie is like, there's no frills or anything. He's like, right, okay, I have a question. And he will lose shit. Like, because me, Matt, and Six, we have all been on set because we'd just been in LA, and Artie was losing his shit, and we're just like, whatever. So it's such. I just wish that we'd had more behind the scenes cameras, because there are some characters in Daddy Couture that really should be on the screen. We have some funny shit going on. Like, it is hysterical what goes on.
I can only imagine. Like, I think someone shared a photo of, I think it was Busty. She sent me a photo of you and Sophie sitting on the couch and the makeup artist. And I'm like, dressing room's a mess. I was like, what it would be to be a fly on the wall while they were filming this show.
But even then, or even the fashion show that we did in New York, I mean, that was so funny. That was just one of the best ever. We've had some, like, Daddy Couture really, Daddy Couture is kind of like a production company, marketing company, fashion company, whatever. But it really it's changed my life being part of the business.
So let's talk about a little bit more about the show and the word slag in general. And so slag is like British for like slut and whore and someone who sleeps around. Tell me what it means to you now, rebranding the word. What does it mean to you to be a slag and being a cock destroyer? Because it's more than just someone who destroys dicks.
The funny thing is about Cock Destroyer and slag, like, now they're like, oh, they're the Cock Destroyers. It's like, it's an innocent word now. I remember Sophie and I being booked at a club, and they'd put the cock destroyers, and people would book us in the hotels as the cock destroyers. I was like, I love this. Like, this is so acceptable. The cock, like, it's quite outrageous, isn't it? The Who, when someone hasn't heard of it, like,
literally
what?
every time I say it, my friends are like, who is it? I'm like, you don't know the cock destroyers?
Yeah, it's like so raw. But now we've said it so many times that everyone's like, oh yeah, it's
yeah.
But, and slag, everybody, I think, when they were younger, is particularly in the UK, if you were remotely promiscuous or anything like that, you got called a slag, and it wasn't very nice when you were younger. And generally, if you're a slag when you're younger, you probably weren't going to change, and you continue to be a slag until you were older. So, you kind of like had to live with that branding in a way. So I think for most of the people that, you're all in your friends and you're all slags together, the word is just so fun. And Sophie and I are both really into using those words and being quite aggressive with derogatory words, and we enjoy using them, and we're very upbeat about using them. We put them on our clothes, and that's kind of what Daddy Couture has been about, is about owning those words. I think I read somewhere about Nikki, she owns certain words, the community owns certain words. I would never say. And I think when people use your words against you, you take that and that's your word, and I think that's really what is happening with the word slag. And just, it's, of course, Slag Wars, people, like, it's a marketing thing as well. Like, what the is this, So, and also the USA didn't really, I don't think you guys use, like, obviously the use of us British sort of saying slag a lot. They're like, what is slag? Sophie and I were using it. People are like, slag, what is that? So I think we wanted that vibe of like, if America wasn't sure about the word, that eventually it's a new, we've introduced that word, and because of us, they will know that word better.
And like, I use it now. Like, I think the word is definitely like slut. It's the same kind of thing as that we would use here, but and they have these amazing like in LA they do the slut walk, which is like empowering women and like taking back the word. And so I think that's amazing that you guys are joining in on that and reclaiming things. And, so a lot of the support that you and Sophie have gotten is from the LGBT community, and I actually almost got into hot water when I referred to Sophie as an LGBT ally. She retweeted it, and a few comments were like, why did this person call you an ally when you're pansexual, you're part of the community? What are you, straight? Are you bisexual, pansexual? What do you identify as?
I just identify as very open, and so I do feel that I'm part and an ally as well. So we get asked that a lot. Like, so I said to Sophie, I said, I don't really relate to the word pansexual. I'm just like, I'm open, So